You can fool yourself, and a lie can become the truth. If you say it enough for as long period of time, it might actually end up being something that you think is the truth, which is terrifying. That's how powerful our brains are. It's also amazing because that's how powerful our brains are. Hey, I've understood over the decades that white lies on occasion are okay, just as long as you take a moment to consider the weight of it. I only use that kind of stuff once or twice a year. However, some don't have that cognitive luxury to understand that. Whether that be due to being raised not knowing any better or just run with too many lies over the years, having to cover lies upon lies, it's the extremes that can slowly over time scrub down what could be in your older years. It's true. The thing about white lies, thanks for 300 bits, Antique. The thing about white lies is they're small. But if you've been somebody who's been doing white lies, like you said, for a long time, then your lies are being covered with lies, which are then be covered with lies, but becoming lies. So maybe they're not even big lies, but the culmination of a lot of small white lies. You might not realize the toll of it because it's just so normal. Sometimes when you're interacting with people that you've been telling white lies to, you might start thinking some of those white lies are the truth. You might forget. The human brain you can fool yourself, and a lie can become the truth. If you say it enough for as long period of time, it might actually end up being something that you think is the truth, which is terrifying. That's how powerful our brains are. It's also amazing because that's how powerful our brains are. We can literally do that. Imagine the whole concept of rewiring your brain just by sitting there and closing your eyes. We can literally think hard enough to change. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird that you can literally just sit there and think hard enough and then you will change your brain chemistry? Is it like meditation or is it different? I like to consider it mindfulness. I'll do an exercise with you guys, okay? Here's an exercise. Here's an example of mindfulness if you don't understand. Play with me a little bit, okay? Close your eyes, all right? If you're here in the street, whatever, except for you're driving. If you're driving, don't close your eyes, okay? Don't do that. But if you're in a safe place where you can, close your eyes, all right? And if you're driving or doing something where you can't close your eyes, just look at one thing. Keep your stuff fixated, okay? Okay, cool. Are you entertaining me? Don't look. Don't peek, all right? Don't peek. Don't peek. Okay, cool. So, with your eyes closed, I want you to think about your heartbeat, okay? I want you to now be conscious of your chest. And maybe you can feel your heartbeat, or maybe you can't. Maybe it's not something that you feel, but you're looking for it, okay? While you're thinking about that as well, while you're looking for that, I'm sorry that I'm gonna have to do this to you, but I want you to start consciously breathing, okay? I'm sorry that I did that to you. And I want you to breathe in through your nose slowly and breathe out through your mouth slowly, okay? While you do that, while you're consciously breathing, I want you to think about the sensations in your toes. I want you to become aware of your toes now. The fact that our skin can react to touch, to the things around you. The texture. Are you wearing socks? Are you not wearing socks? Are you cold? Are you not cold? What type of sensation are you getting from the things that are the clothes that you're wearing? Be cognizant of the fact that you're wearing clothes right now. Things like that. Keep breathing. Keep looking for the heartbeat. And then stop. You're good. So that tiny little exercise right there was you being mindful of your body and yourself and your breathing. You weren't looking at the internet. You wasn't looking at the phone. For a small period of time, you were observing yourself. And the parts that I told you to observe were physical because it's easier to fixate on those items when it comes to like being mindful. But then you can also do the same exercise when it comes to feelings and emotions. So let's sit back and do it again. And I say, hey, I want you to think about how you are feeling right now. Let's get out of the fact that you're here in the stream with me. What did you wake up feeling today? Were you sad? Were you frustrated? Were you happy? Were you depressed? And then why were you feeling those things? Did you go to sleep late? Did you have a bad fight? Is there something bad happen in your life that's kind of overcoming your brain? School? Are you distracted? And then you just keep going further and pulling back the layers from that. What about those things make you feel good? What about those things are making you feel bad? Why? Why do you feel bad because you have schoolwork? Well, I don't like going to school. I don't like learning, or I don't like spending my time doing this, or I feel like it's kind of pointless. or I feel great. I feel like I've been doing some things that I want to do off my list. These things that you're doing right now is exploring your feelings and your emotions. And right now you're watching the TV of your mind. That's what I like to call it. You're watching the TV of your mind. You're consuming yourself. It's pretty hot when you think about it. And when you consume yourself, you get to learn more about yourself. And when you learn more about yourself and you practice it, you can become more self-aware. So when you were asking me, how do you reach the point of more self-awareness? You have to practice consuming the TV of your mind. So what do you think? What do you think of those exercises? There was one that was physical and the one that was mental. Was this all common sense for you guys, or did any of you pick up on anything from that? You got to keep doing this? You do. It feels good, right? It feels uncomfortable too. A lot of us are going to resist it because there's shit behind these doors and these layers of ourselves that it doesn't feel good. You do got to keep doing it. You do. Vulnerability. Hey, Katie, how are you? Made you feel your soul? You do these exercises daily? That's great. There's some people who've gone their entire life never doing these things. Never. Because we are constantly in a state of trying to not be bored. We have deemed the concept of being bored as bad, right? If you're bored, that's bad thing. Therefore, we try to avoid it. But being bored is not a bad thing. It's not bad at all. In fact, you should incorporate more boredom into your life. You should incorporate doing nothing more. And what I mean by nothing is not consuming other people's thoughts. Because if you think about it, when you watch TV, you're watching a creation of someone else's thoughts. And you go to the internet, look at social media, you're looking at other people's posted thoughts. And playing video games, you're getting lost in the world and an exercise and a simulation and a social concept. And all of those things are putting you further away from, you might be able to practice self in those situations. You know, there are exercises that, like playing video games allows you to explore yourself in a way, but being just straight up bored and just only consuming yourself through writing, through mindfulness, through talking to yourself, but just literally just yourself is something that a lot of people don't do enough. And you got to do it. I don't do it every day, but if you are mindful enough to practice these things. So here's a good example. Here's a great exercise that you guys all can take home. If you're wondering what are some take home exercises I can do, this one will change your life too as well. I'm dropping some nuggets. You guys need to subscribe, by the way. This is like thousands and thousands of resources and data that's changing your life. So emotional awareness and intelligence and control. If you ever feel like you can't control your emotions, or you find yourself in a place where you might get easily agitated or angry or frustrated or mad or sad, or you have these emotions and then you just do. Maybe you're a person who yells. Maybe you're a person who hits things. Maybe you're a person that harms yourself. All right. There's a practice that you can do when you encounter a feeling, and in everyday life, you stop and pause. Just think about hitting the pause button in a video game. I'll give you a conceptual way to kind of conceptualize this. Imagine hitting the pause button of your life. There's a pause button. You have a controller. Stop, pause. Why did I just feel this feeling? Why am I feeling anxious? Something's weird going on in my chest. What is this anxious feeling that I'm feeling? Most of us just ignore it, or most of us just float to something to kind of distract ourselves from these feelings, or to eradicate it. That's what we do. Something doesn't feel good and we just try to find something to bury it. Don't. Pause and then reflect. Why do I feel this way? Why do I feel sad? This overwhelming sadness. What's happening here? Is this something that I should feel sad about? Is the sadness that I'm feeling actually about something else? This is an exercise that you can do all day. Today, there are going to be so many opportunities where you're going to catch yourself in a thought. And before you let that thought escape, or that feeling escape, or that emotion escape, you can analyze it. And it might seem dumb to keep doing it over and over again, but it's such a healthy practice, because a lot of us move on autopilot. We don't actually think about our feelings and then how it reflects upon our actions. And then we just find ourselves yelling or in a fight. We're creatures of habits. We just react. But if you pause more and more and more frequently throughout your day, just pausing, questioning things more and more, deciding, is this what I want to be upset about? Let's say someone's yelling at you. As opposed to just yelling right back at them, you can be like, why is this person yelling at me? Is this something that should make me feel bad? Why should I let this person make me feel bad? Does that have to be the case? Should this person's words have that power over my emotions? Why does this person's words have power over me? Why is it that when they say these things, I feel like I am feeling these things? Is this person making me feel these things? Or am I allowing myself to feel these things? Is it possible that I can take the agency back of people's words over me? Yes. If a random stranger on the street was like, asshole, stupid, you're like, what the fuck? I don't know this person. But if the person you love close to you says it, it has a different meaning. So yes, two people can say the same thing to you and you can feel differently about it because that's how powerful your brain is. And even people who are close to you can say things to you and you can not allow it to harm you or destroy you or allow it to manifest in a way where you yell, where you feel these things. So that's a good exercise, is pausing. Just putting the pause button of your life and actually kind of analyzing your thoughts. And as you get better and as you do it more frequently, and as you start figuring out, a good one is just asking the why and then asking the why and asking the why. As you do that over and over and over again, you start getting better at it. And then you start getting more control over your emotions. You start having more control over yourself. You have more self-control because you're practicing the concept of learning yourself and understanding yourself that people don't do. They avoid that nonstop. So that's your takeaway. Okay? Why do I get mad when someone talks shit? Oh, my favorite thing. Take notes. It's fine. You can keep the stream up. The stream will be, I think it should be live.